Moby Local Biz. Okay, so I've always pushed businesses to use their branding domain for their email, info@company.com as an example, instead of at Yahoo, Hotmail, or whatever. But it could be better. Could it be better SEO to use Gmails instead for GMB and across citations? No, I recommend using a branded domain always. And in fact, I would recommend using G Suite for your branded domain instead of like a shitty webmail. That's one of the issues I'm actually dealing with right now with the server migration. Webmail sucks, and there tends to be problems a lot with webmail accounts, guys, that are through servers. But for it, the price is going up, I think, in the next couple of days for G Suite. But for a basic G Suite domain account, email account that's all hosted through Google, it's $6 a month, guys, per user. But you can add, like, I don't know if it's unlimited or not, but you can add a whole bunch of domain aliases if you'd like, so that you can actually send and receive email from multiple domains from the same Gmail account, or G Suite account, but it's Google email essentially. And also, as Marco will probably chime in here, that's also another entity validation signal to be hosting your domain using G Suite email services for your domain. So I would recommend that you do that. What do you say, Marco?
I totally agree, man. Get that business card on file. Whether you do it through G Suite, it used to be that Google only would allow names in Gmail, right? They wouldn't discourage you from using business names. But now, since everybody started doing it, then now it's okay. So you could actually do Gmail and pay through Gmail, right, for Drive, extra Drive, and everything. But you have G Suite there, and if you have a business or that you're running, or a business that you're helping, then by all means get them over into G Suite and run everything through there. Let Google see that this is a legitimate business with legitimate services, products, or whatever it may be. So yes, I 100% agree. Go and pay Google for their services.
And just as a quick, I'm not going to go through it, guys, on screen, but just write this down or take notes. It's not a hard process. There is a wizard that will kind of help you through it. But the first couple of times you do it, it's a little geeky. But once you understand how to do it, it's really simple. You have to be able to access your domain's DNS settings, which can either be through your registrar, or if you're using something like a third-party DNS like Cloudflare, you can do it there. But you got to add a text record for domain verification. That's to prove to Google that you own the domain or control the domain. And then you add your MX records. There's 5 of them. There's 5 of them. And they'll get the G Suite will give you those. It's fairly standard or easy to set up. And then after that, there's just a few additional records that you want to add. Like one is called an SPF record. Another one is called a DMARC record. And the last one is a DKIM signature. And those are 3 different things that you want to add. So just write those down, and then you can just search in G Suite Help, which are, when you're logged into your G Suite admin panel, there's a help search bar at the top, and you can just type those in, like SPF records, DKIM signature, and DMARC, and it'll give you help files to show you exactly how to set that stuff up. And once you do those, then you should be good to go. It's also important to make sure that you do have a domain that's set up with a website and such that's good for domain reputation, for email or for email reputation if you're sending from a domain email account, if that makes sense. So just adding those few things are going to help make sure that you get really good deliverability. I do use G Suite accounts for prospecting when I'm doing, cold emailing for prospecting, and they tend to work really well. If you use standard Gmail accounts, like personal Gmail accounts, and free Gmail accounts essentially, and you try to send cold email, within a very short period of time, your emails will stop being delivered. They'll stop inboxing. Well, it depends on, I guess, really the volume and whether people are hitting spam and stuff like that. But if you use the domain emails and you set up those records, like I said, and you have a website on the domain, so at least, those are kind of things that help for those to inbox. But for a standard business, you shouldn't really have to worry about much of that, other than just set up those records correctly, and you should be good to go. That's a good question, though.